to jump right in because I have a lot of questions ready for you. Okay.
Okay.
Those who are here, again, this is Jacorie Slater, CEO of Majestic Journeys. So, Jacorie, just give us like a mini introduction of who you are.
So as she said, my name is Jacorie Slater. I go by Corey. I'm from Timminsville, South Carolina, born and raised. I lived in Columbia, South Carolina for about 5 years. I got a position in Atlanta. So May, I'll be in Atlanta for about 2 years. I am currently serving as an executive director for an agency who specializes in individuals with developmental disabilities.
Oh,
So
wow.
I do that in Atlanta, and then I run Majestic Journeys in South Carolina. So I'm kind
Come
of
on
back and
now.
forth between South Carolina and Georgia.
Yes, booked and busy. We love to see it. Okay, so Majestic Journeys, I've seen it like so many places, on Instagram, social media. I've seen so many of my followers like posting it and they share the photos. And I'm like, oh my God, it looks so cool. Kaylin, I follow Kaylin. I know she was there for
Mhm.
the photo shoot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, beautiful, beautiful branding. I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell us about like the beginning journey to how Majestic Journeys came about.
So I kind of been into horses for like years and years and years at a time since I was like 4. Um, my family always did stuff like in parades, um, just go to like sales, look at horses and things of that nature. But I didn't have a horse. Um, Kind of like growing up, we always kind of like found me a horse to ride because it was just always something that was out there.
Yeah.
So it was time for me to graduate, and I was just like, I'm tired of trying to find a horse every time it's a parade or something going on. So my uncle and my mom bought me a horse to my high school graduation. So imagine like you walking out of your graduation and everybody outside. I had like a horse with a bow and a ribbon and all of that just extra. But at the end of the day, that was our culture. Like I had already had a
Yeah.
car, so it's like I didn't want another car. I was getting ready to go to college. I wanted my own horse. So while being in Columbia, South Carolina, I was just like, I want to start this saddle club, and that was called South Carolina Trailblazers. That's also LLC'd as well. That was just for us to kind of like have on our vest where we're from, who we are, things of that nature. But then I was only doing like birthday parties, and I was just like, birthday parties is cool, but it's really not like gathering the crowd of like the
Mhm.
people because it's like everybody don't have a birthday. And then I was so focused on my career that I ended up taking a job in Atlanta. So I put that on the back burner for about a year until I learned my position here in Atlanta. So it was just like seeing how everybody here kind of love brunch, and then people like to be outside, and I like horses. I was like, let me put this together real quick. Like,
Yeah.
let me do brunches and horses and music and all that together, and like expose people to the culture of riding horses because growing up, I didn't know a lot of people who had horses, but I always wanted to ride horses. So like I
Yeah.
wanted to be that person that, everybody should know somebody who got a horse. And if you want to come ride, like come get this experience. Like this is something that's really dope. It takes you away from everything around you that's going on. This is not like a car. This is just like something that you can truly bond with, that you feel energy from, that you have to extend trust to. It has to extend trust to you. And it's just the whole vibe, like all within itself.
Yeah,
So
I
then
love that.
So
Go
then I
ahead.
jumped into it like like my mind always rambling. I'm always thinking about what's the next thing I can do. What can I add to this? And I was just like, you know what? People like to do photo shoots with exotic animals. I also have a blue and gold macaw, which is an exotic parrot. And I was like, people ask me to put her in a music video, and people want to take pictures with her, and everybody can't go out of the country. So I was like, okay, at least I brought out of the country to, you. So
Right.
then I started doing photo shoots with horses. People were booking me for like their maternity shoots. They was booking me for like weddings, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. And then when COVID came and there was so many people dying and there weren't a lot of funerals anymore, I was just like, what can I do to make people have that last go round, that last ride? You riding out in dignity, like. And I don't want this to be just for people of the elite. I wanted everybody to get that sense of royalty. So that's why like my motto was driven by quality and all of that. So I was just like, I gotta let my people, everybody ain't gonna be a billionaire, but everybody should get that billionaire feel. However I can
Mhm.
do it, I'm gonna do it. And that's what I ended up doing. I went and bought a carriage. And I used to talk to my dad about it. He's really my uncle, but I call him like my dad. I talked to him about it all the time. I was like, we should do this, we should do that. So he was more so like the muscle, and I was more so like the brains, and then we just put it together, and I just went with it. And I actually did a pilot with all my friends for my good friends for her birthday.
Mhm.
And when I did the pilot and we dropped the video of it, it was just like, I want to do this, where this at, and it just took off. So when it took
Oh,
off, I had no choice
I
but to
know.
catch up. So that's kind of like how it started. It was a I'm trying to do something. Let me see how this gonna look. I put it out there and it just went.
Yeah. So like, so in what moment were you like, okay, for sure, for sure? Because I'm sure, like, did you have any doubt, like any fear, like, I don't know if this is gonna work? Um, when you were thinking about really managing this whole thing and really running it.
Oh, most definitely. I definitely had a lot of I had a lot of doubt. I especially being from like a small town, one stop light, not too many people
Yeah.
are passing through there to stop to do anything. So I
Right.
had a one of my best friends from high school was like, we oftentimes grow up and we graduate and we go and we make other cities better, but we don't do anything for our city at home. So I was like, let me start this charter of Majestic Journey like right here where I'm from. And then if I end up branching off someplace else, at least I know the roots were from where I'm from and where I had the most support to help me. Like my mom helps. It's kind of like a family thing. They all kind of work my nerves, but we all kind of like we work together to like get it done or whatnot. So that's just how that kind of happened. But I still do doubt it. But right now I'm
Yeah.
just watching it, but I'm just trusting the process.
Yeah. Speaking of family, like, how does that work when you work with family? Like, are you delegating, your mom, who's your
Oh
mom?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like, how does that work?
Sometimes they try to tell me what to do, and they'll pull that son card, and that really like frustrates me because this is my vision, this is my
Right.
baby. I know how I want it to look, I know how I want it to be, and they'll oftentimes say, "You don't need to buy anything else. We're fine. This look good as what it is." And I'm just like, "No, I'm looking at something, and I'm just like, okay, I like the way this look. Let me change these vases out and put this up here." And she's just like, it's me and my mom butt heads a lot about this, a lot.
Yeah.
And my dad, we butt heads about it because he tried to tell me how he wanted it done, and I'm just like, no, I want this polished this way, and I want it that way, and
Yeah.
it's only out of love. I know it's out of love, but we actually do work really really well together. Like those two people really kind of keep me grounded as far as it's working, and in my eyes I still see some flaws and I still see ways that we can tighten up. However, our audience doesn't see it, but I see it, and it kind of I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, so it's kind of like I want it to be a certain way, and then when I'm not
I feel
there,
that.
they actually run better when I'm not present. I guess it's like, when the boss is away, we can do our thing and they have their own
Yeah.
rhythm. So when I come, it's kind of like they looking for what I'm gonna say, or we move what we didn't do right, and it's kind of funny at the same time because that's when I know they got that respect for my vision.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So,
So with Majestic Journeys, you're breaking barriers. We don't see this in the Black community at all. Like when we think of cowboy or like the aesthetic of cowboy, we think of, the old white man.
mhm.
So you're basically redefining the term and what it means, for cowboy. So how does that make you feel knowing that you're making that change and impact in the Black community?
I I got this profile name J.R. Jackson, and he always said if you're given a position to be a leader, never question why. I know it's a lot of little black boys like me. It's a lot of little black girls like me that don't know a lot about horses, but they want to know about horses. Um, Fear is somewhat of a mental block, and fear comes from not knowing. When I pledged, I
Mm,
kind of knew you can never expect the unexpected. So
right.
I will say that I want to be that person that comes to schools and let people touch these animals, learn about these animals, and not be afraid of these animals because sometimes people don't experience things because of things they might have heard versus going off of their own experience within itself. So I want to be that person that you don't have to look around and ride past people's houses and be like, oh, I wish I could stop and touch their horses and talk to them. I want to be that inviting that you want to come see me, that you want to, learn about these creatures and understand that shoot, if a car break down, I can still get around. Like,
Period.
Like
I
nothing stop
love it.
us. You'll see me and my family riding through town sometime at the grocery store on horses and all of that. And that's just dope. That's just like that's just the culture. And I
Yeah.
don't think
So
everybody really like know about it. So it's kind of like I want everybody to kind of get on a wave, not because you just see it happening, but like this been around a long time. So this ain't nothing new. Like I just up and decided, oh, I want to jump into horses. If you know me, you know I've been with horses for years and years and years. So it's like now it's time for me to pass that on to other people. Like, let me let you dab into this and understand like that country life is something that's real. However, I'm modern, but that's just something that I like. So I hope I answered the question.
yeah, you did. I love
Okay.
that. What is so like? What kind of looks? So wait, first before I ask, correct me if I'm wrong. This is in Timminsville, South Carolina.
That's correct.
Yes. Okay. And I heard you mention. You said sometimes you and your mom and your uncle will ride around. What kind of looks are y'all getting from neighbors or just from the city in general?
Oh, people will stop. They pull out their phone. They take pictures. They ask, can they touch the horse? They ask, can they come ride? Do we do birthdays? Do we do any type of events? It's just like a real little showstopper. Like when we crossing the streets,
Yeah.
or one of us will stop at the store and somebody else out there holding your horse for you, and you come back and you get on and you got a bag on the saddle, and we just ride. Like we definitely used to do that a lot on Sundays, and we didn't always have like the feel to go out and ride on the trail. So we used what we had, which was riding in the street. So that's just how it
Yeah.
was.
So what type of services are you all offering with Majestic Journeys?
So right now, Majestic Journeys does the trail rides with the brunch that's included. We do
Hmm.
photo shoots. We do riding lessons. We do weddings and proms with the limousine carriage for those. We do the funeral services, and I want to say that might be about it. I think it's six, but I probably said five. And we do birthday parties. That's a six.
Yes. And I also read that y'all do, brunches and things like that. So you're offering like the whole experience, like the whole feel good brunch vibes, right?
Yeah. So, I'll talk about that for a little bit. So the brunch vibes comes with three different packages. That's
Hmm.
bronze, that's silver, and that's gold. So the bronze package is more so like a person who really just wants to ride a horse. They really just not into the whole brunch thing. They just coming out there. So that's like horse 101. And I do horse 101 so people kind of know what's our safety plan in the event something were to happen, to let everybody know who is actually the staff that's there to support you. Excuse
Hmm.
me. We go over what to do on a horse, what not to do on a horse, how to approach a horse, and how to feed a horse. So then what we also do is we do horse feeding, where we let you get some apples and some carrots, and we ask that you go over and you bond with the horse, because again, a horse can sense when you're afraid of them, as well as vice versa. So
Hmm.
if you bond, you treat the horse like somebody, you let them know who you are, as smell you just like a dog, kind of. It kind of builds a connection between you and your horse. Then we put you on a horse and we just walk around the yard just a little bit before we actually go on a trail ride. Because my goal was not to hold you while you're on a horse, like
Hmm.
with a rope. Because when I used to do that growing up, it didn't feel like I was actually riding a horse. I felt like somebody was walking me like a pony. And I
Yeah.
didn't want that pony feel. Like I want whoever comes out there to the ranch to get that ride, like you getting ready to ride. So we do that, and that's more so the bronze package. So the silver package is more so some of what this every package gets horse 101, and they get
Hmm.
to feed the horse. But the silver package is where you get that customized mason jar. You get a snack, more so like danishes and things like that if you're hungry. Um, you get a customized picture and things of that nature. But that hooves and bubbles is where it's at. Just it's where it's at. So that's that gold package. The gold package is horse 101, horse feeding. You get a snack before you kind of start. You get the bond with your horses. We go on a trail ride. Then when you come back, it's that lit music. It's that bottomless mimosas. It's the breakfast. It's Belgian waffles, scrambled
Oh,
eggs, breakfast
wow.
potatoes, pork bacon, turkey sausage. We kind of have some donuts out there. It's other things to drink if you're not a mimosa type of person. And it's just like a lit vibe. You kind of do your own thing. We put
Yeah.
got spade cards on the table, Uno cards on the table. We have cornhole out there. Sometimes we bring ATVs out just as an add-on from time to
Oh,
time. So it's really like whatever the country on that day, and if you out there,
yeah.
you might get what we on next because once we close, the last group that was there, we went mud bogging afterwards. So it's kind of
What's
like
that?
you
What's
in
that?
ATVs through the woods and through the ponds and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. And stuff like that. So you might catch us out there racing on horses just a little bit, just a little family thing, nothing like too serious or whatever. But it's really a vibe. In the winter, I know a lot of people like, well, how do we ride when it's cold? We have
Hmm.
bonfires going out there, so you're really not that
Oh
cold once you
wow.
get on the horses. And the horses also have like they grow hair throughout the winter that keeps them warm.
Hmm.
So by the time you go and you come back, it's pretty cool. And during the summer, people out there asking like, what do you do when it's hot? There's a fan for every table, so it kind of like keeps you cool, as well as there's electricity out there. There's a bathroom out there. There's running water out there. We give you mason jars so things don't kind of like fly in your drink and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of
Right.
thought about all of that when I wanted to bring like city people to the country who gonna be like, oh, the bugs and all of that. So I have to like,
Yeah.
I had to knock all that away in the beginning, so I didn't get any of that um
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
Yeah. Someone in here, Zipporah Lee Empress. I celebrated my birthday last year with Majestic Journey. It was a great experience. Y'all will enjoy it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come out there. But I did hear you say, you mentioned winter and cold, so this is like a yearly thing. Nothing is
it
stopping.
is.
Yeah.
Nah, nothing is stopping me. To say I've been open only 6 months, I've had a lot of people show me a lot of love, and I definitely appreciate that. And that's the good thing about it. I just don't think everybody knows about it just yet. But once you know about it,
Hmm.
it's still a pandemic. You're gonna have to understand that everything ain't gonna be inside like how it used to
Hmm.
be. So like getting on this wave of doing things outside, I'm trying to, stay in my lane, doing what I'm doing. I kind of haven't heard of anybody else doing the brunch and the horses. I've, of course, known people to do horses and trail rides, but I'm trying to just stay in my lane and do what I can do for my people and bring that Sunday
Hmm.
fun day to the Carolinas and then eventually venture off to someplace else.
Yeah. So, with COVID, because you mentioned the pandemic, like how were you adjusting to that? And ensuring people's safety out there.
So what I do is we don't take group sizes more than 10.
Hmm.
What also happens is you will receive a disclosure statement that kind of lets you know what our policy is, and it's also on the website under what our COVID policy is. So you have to complete that COVID-19 questionnaire, and you need to send that in to us. Once upon your arrival, one of the staff will come and they'll take your temperature and they'll ask you a few more questions to see if you're experiencing any of the symptoms. If not, then you sign it, and then we move forward with the trail ride. We also spray all the helmets down with disinfectant spray, as well as we wipe all the saddles down with disinfectant spray as well. We do offer masks for those who do not have masks, and those who do not wear a mask, that they stay with their parties and not
Hmm.
commingle with other people. Um, and so far, it's kind of been good. The social it's a lot of land, so the social distancing part is really
Yeah.
not like a problem out there. But however, we
Yeah.
do have all those measures in place.
Yeah. Good. 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 I am. I have to be there like next week. I'm probably gonna come more than once. I'm gonna have to bring my girls to my birthday. My birthday's in
Okay,
August, but it's never too early to plan. Okay.
okay, okay.
Um, I want to do a really recap really quickly. Those that are in here, if you have any questions for Jacorie, please make sure you put it in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. And thanks for joining. All right. So, are there any challenges that you face with being an African American man running a horse and carriage company?
Challenges that I face right now, knock on wood, I don't think I really face any challenges. The only challenges I face right now is like balance in my personal life, balance
Yeah.
in my career, and balance in my passion, which is horses. Trying to juggle
Hmm.
those three things and keep my head above water sometimes, that's really, really hard. As far as anything else, I think I honestly am in my own lane. And I
Yeah.
honestly think that I'm not, stepping on anybody's toes. And I think that may be why, who's to say when a lot more people find out about me, that may come. However, it's enough for everybody. I'm not trying to take it all. The goal is not just for me to touch people with these horses, it's for people who have horses to touch the next person with these horses. So I just want us all to, to be a horse family and just strengthen those bonds across the U.S. and across the country. And I'm pretty sure people have clubs and they're doing all of what they're doing. However, everybody don't know everybody. And I do want to be able to speak to other Black equestrians and, see what we can do together to just make this a population that is stupid big.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Um, Turn. Oh, what is your biggest inspiration like behind Majestic Journeys in general? Like what is your biggest inspiration? Maybe that got you started or in just even now that you feel like you'll carry on with the expansion.
So what got me started was anybody that kind of know me, like my friends always say, if I ever say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. That's just one thing
Mm-hmm.
about it. My mind is fixated on something. I'm gonna do it. And it started when I was younger. Like everybody in my family knew I loved horses, so they would always buy me like these toy horses for Christmas, or if they was in the store, they would see it and they would get it. They would get it for me. So little corny moment. So the VHS tapes that we
Yeah.
used to have. I used to line them up on the floor, and those used to be like my stalls and my stables. So
Oh.
so my mom bought me this barn, and I would put the tapes around the barn, and I would just be down there for hours, just like acting like I'm giving them water, acting like they feeding, getting
Oh.
them ready to do stuff, getting them ready to do stuff. And I just always been infatuated with horses like that. So it's always been in me, even down to play horses. It was just like I was always into doing that, and I can always remember me having one with me in my hand. Like that's just what it was. It started from VHS DVDs, play stables, and me acting like that was my barn. And I always would say I'm gonna get my own horses and that stuff one day.
Yeah. So okay, so when you were younger, and I know you said like your introduction to horses would have been like through parades, I think, and maybe birthdays. Like, so is that where it started, or was it just like something like when you seen the animal, just
I
you
think
may
when I
have
saw
seen
that,
it and you're like,
yeah,
go ahead.
when I saw the animal, that's got to be what it was. Like any place I went around my area, I could spot, I could tell you where a horse was at because I had just learned the routes that way. Like going to my Uncle
Yeah.
Robert house like every weekend, I could tell you exactly where these horses are at. Um, that was just me. Like any place that was like a common area we went, I can tell you who had a horse at their house. I just didn't know him until I ran into my Uncle Jimmy. And that was because even coming to your birthday party, you don't really get to do nothing with that horse. You get to touch the horse, you get to ride the horse,
Right.
back, forth, get off, they gone. But
Mm-hmm.
like going, saddling them up, watching them getting their feet done, getting their teeth floated, all that kind of stuff. My uncle introduced me to that. In high school, I was more so with him. And after like basketball practice and track and all that, we going to a sale on a Monday night, and I'm coming back at like 12 o'clock after watching people bid on horses and stuff like that, or getting out of the bed in the middle of the morning to go help him get a horse up off the ground, stuff like that. So after that, I got what that was. That was just like, yeah, I gotta have some of these.
Yeah. So where do you see Majestic Journeys going in the future? Like, how do you expect it to expand? Where do you see this company, your business in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see us being in at least one or two other states. I say
Okay.
one. And I dream big. However, um, horses aren't as expensive as people think they are. It depends on the type of horse you get and who you know. That's one thing. Two, and it might not be the whole thing, but it may be me hitting services different places.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
However, I do see myself eventually using my background and my degrees in social work and substance abuse and addictions. I do see myself, working with Medicaid for therapeutic services for veterans, um, people of the developmental disabilities population, therapeutic
Hmm.
foster carers, past felons, things of that nature. So my years of working in the social work field, I touched all those populations, and I know how they can benefit from a program like what I have.
Hmm.
More so creating independent living skills so that these people can be independent throughout life. Teaching, certain things about, professionalism, how to speak to clients, how to speak to customers, things of that nature. So that's another way I see myself incorporating my degree into what I'm doing, and that's the reason why I see myself going far, because it's not just about me; it's about me bringing other people on to what exactly I'm doing.
Right. I love it. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. Like, you just have this big vision. I can't wait for it to come
I
to
hope, oh
life or
man,
just
I
even
hope,
expand more.
yeah.
Yeah. You're on the right track. I mean, you have, like you said, you have the dream, you got the drive behind it, you have the passion. It's just a matter of time. Do you have any advice for anyone who may be doubtful or fearful in starting their own business and running the business as well?
Starting your own business, I can say, I didn't come from my household didn't really come from step out on faith and step out on your dream, and that's where I'm
Hmm.
challenging. That's where my test come from.
Hmm.
Recently, I did a test with God. I really am close to my spiritual faith. I did a test with God just to show Him that I'm ready for that move if He tell me to move. However, it wasn't the right timing. So I just say this: if you get that excitement, that overwhelming feeling, and you think that it's anxiety, mine, I've learned it's not anxiety. It's just that ambitious drive that's like, this gonna come, but you're just so anxious. Anybody who ever ran track and you're in the starting block and you think you heard that gun go off and you false start. That's how it feels. You just
Yeah.
that anxious and you just that ready. Especially when you feel like it's gonna work because you're humble, you're passionate about it. And again, I keep saying stay in your lane, because a lot of times people hear about something and they try to jump into it, and it turns out to be a flop. Horses is something that can
Hmm.
kill you. So this ain't something that you just jump in saying, "Oh, because you got the money, oh, I'm gonna buy these horses and I'm gonna do it." Like, nah, you gotta know about horses. You gotta know like when your horse don't want to be fooled with that day, all that kind of
Right.
stuff. So again, I stay in my lane. I respect my craft. I respect my team that's on it. I have some very influential people like my CEO of the company that I work for. She's very, very ambitious. She pushed me to kind of like go ahead and do this. My uncle was doing the same thing, but it was kind of like watching her do it and run a business like how she run a business, and it's kind of like, damn, I'm kind of like her a lot in a lot of ways. Either she's a female, but she got that go getter strength, and it's just like I just feed off that. Like, we gonna do this, and I went for it. And when I went for it again, it just went. Because
Yeah.
there's no blueprint to this. So everything I
Mm-mm.
do and I come up with is straight from right here. It's straight from conversation with me with a friend. It's me and my friend's living room walking in a circle talking, like trying to get my ideas and my thoughts out, and them helping me put it together sometimes. So I would never sit up here and scream like I'm one of them self-made people. Nah, I'm not. I'm one of those people that's like, hey,
Yeah.
let me call you. Let me tell you this real quick. How this sound? What you think I should do about that? I'm one of them people. Everybody's opinion don't
Yeah.
matter, but I do like to get feedback from people that I'm close with.
Same. I do this. I do the exact same thing. But just to follow up on what you said, it's really important, like, to just really go for it. There, like you said, there
Hmm.
is no blueprint. You have to just do it, and whatever follows, follows. I mean, as
Right.
long as you are dedicated and consistent, because consistency is key. And really your true self, then I think it'll be successful. And I think you're a testament to that. I'm just so proud of you.
I appreciate
I
that. I
love
really
it.
appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your story. If y'all have any questions, y'all go ahead, drop them in the Q&A really quickly. I'm just so proud. It warms my heart. I'm sorry, I'm just being really corny, but I
Oh no,
am
you
like,
good. You
this is
good.
great.
No, I
Let me
definitely
see.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said, I'm gonna be out there one of these days. Now, I don't know if I would call myself a nature person, but
Hmm.
I think I am to an extent. But I think I could do horses. I could do horses as long as I calm my nerves.
Yeah,
I
you
can do
can. I mean, it's
horses.
not
No
that long. It's
questions.
not that long.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna bring my girls out for sure. It's definitely a good group activity. And I've never. I think my first introduction, it wasn't even a horse, it was like a pony, and I was like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. And I remember my dad's job had like this fair for, for kids and families. So we went out there and there was like a bull riding
Hmm.
thing. There was playhouses, bounce houses, and I seen ponies and stuff. So I rode it then. I was straight. I was straight then as a
Hmm.
kid. But I think that was my first introduction. So yeah, I think it's time for me to level up to a horse to match
Yeah.
me. Okay, so we have questions coming in. Let's see. Oh, we have a lot. All right. Let's see. For birthday rides, do you provide decor, cake, and are groups allowed to bring their stuff?
So for birthdays, I do not provide decor, cake. However, I do provide the space, and I will have the horses for people who have, excuse me, who have booked with me for a
Mhm.
birthday. They kind of brought their own balloons, they brought their own cake, things of that nature. However, I won't say I'm not opposed to it. That's just something else that we would have to add onto your invoice, and you would
Mhm.
pretty much have to do the legwork behind it because my goal is just to get the horses prepared for you, keep the grounds clean, and just bring the
Mhm.
excitement when you come. So I am open to people bringing their own decorations and things of that nature.
All right, there you have it, Mattia. Let's see what else we have. Um, okay, here's Kaylin. I may have missed it, but how do y'all keep yourselves motivated?
It's a job that you get to drink on after we done with the horses. I mean, I'm just cutting off. But again, it's fun for us because it doesn't feel like work. We get to ride with you. So it's not like we're just sitting waiting on like a roller coaster to go around and we just have to get you on and get you off. We actually
Hmm.
are on the horses riding with you. We actually are out there playing cornhole with you. It's not it's it's a company, but it's like we want you to feel the culture. Like anybody who know in the country, if you go to somebody's house and they cook, they're gonna offer you something to eat. You might not eat it because I don't eat from people's house with cats, but I mean, you might you might not eat it, but at the end of the
Yep.
day, they're gonna offer you. So like out
Hmm.
there, so when we're out there, we're not just gonna not talk to you. Now we can kind of know like if you're in a private group and it's something special and private like that, then we
Hmm.
completely understand. But however, we gonna joke. My uncle is a very, I'm sorry, keep getting these calls. He's a very,
It's
very
okay.
witty guy. So it's like he's funny. My mom is funny. My cousin Kiara's funny. Darrell is funny. Like just to see us fuss sometimes, it's kind of like you watch us, think you watching the hillbilly show. So it's like it's really like anybody who been out there just to watch us, especially like me, when I get wound up and like my real country accent like comes out, it's just fun. That's all I can say. It's really like it's nothing made up, if that makes sense. You know how sometimes you people try too hard and you put on, nah, we really out there just doing what we would do even if you wasn't there.
Right. Yeah. So
Just with a
that
little
question
bit
was
more rules.
actually, yeah, that question was actually for me too. So how do I keep myself motivated? First, hey Kaylin, hey girl.
Hey
I'd say I
Kaylin.
keep myself motivated from my other peers because I see them. You know, I have a lot of friends that are in the same like industry as me, for media and just journalism, entertainment, things of that nature. So seeing them, you know, go hard for their brand and their work, just really keeps me on myself and hold myself accountable. So that's what motivates me. And then, you know, I have, you know, other women, Black women that look like me that are public figures who are doing the same thing and are very successful in their career. So I'm always looking at interviews on how I can make myself better. I'm always just researching in general. So yeah, and yeah, that's about it. That's what keeps me motivated. Thanks for your question, Kaylin girl. And thank you, Mattia, for the previous question. I think we got all of these. Yeah, those are the only, so the other two that were in here was what's your biggest inspiration? The other one was the advice on starting. Well, that's all we have for you, Jacorie. Thank you so much
No, thank
for
you
sharing your
guys.
story.
Thank you guys. And let me give a quick shout out to everybody who supports me, the marketing team, the ranch hands, um, Darrell, my mom, um, Rashad, Denzel, Ty, May, Victoria. I got a real them boys gonna ride for me. I put it like that.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you come out there, everybody gonna treat you like we knew you for years. And
Hmm.
I say just take your time, think about it. It's definitely an experience. We're definitely there for you in your time of need. And always remember we're providing a service of quality driven by dignity.
All right, now go
All
ahead
right.
and plug yourself. Let them know where they can book, where they should head to, where to follow.
So if you go to Majestic Journeys LLC on Instagram, you can always click on the website through there. If you want to go to the website, that is the THE majesticjourneys.com. You can definitely go look at the gallery, read a little bit more about the agency and what we all do. You can go follow us on Facebook at The Majestic Journeys LLC. And then if you cannot find it that way, you can follow my Instagram page, which is j.slate with an underscore, and I'll lead you in the right direction. So I thank everybody for supporting me. I thank everybody who tuned in and watched me. And thank you for having me, as I love to see you on the ranch. We definitely got to take a shot together.
Yes, I'm coming. I'm for real. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna be a little nervous, but I'm gonna
Uh,
make my way there for sure. But yes,
okay.
again, thank you for joining me and sharing your story. This video will be uploaded on YouTube, y'all that are in here. So make sure you head to my link in the bio, in my bio, to subscribe and watch the videos and my other Kicking It with Karina episodes. So Jacorie, I'm gonna let you go. Happy Sunday. I hope you
All
have a
right.
great night.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Talk to you soon.